And I'm live. Okay. There we go. I'm not sure if I did this right. I set up the appointment, like I planned this ahead of time, and so now we're chatting. Hopefully, it worked out correctly. And hopefully you can hear me because these headphones just started having issues and problems yesterday. So if you can't hear me or anything like that, just let me know and I'll figure something else out. But anyway, we should be live and this should be working. If there are any issues, feel free to let me know. But anyway, the idea here is that, once again, I'm just going to be getting some work done and keep this chat on. And so if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to let me know. This is going to be a chat or whatever that I'm going to do before I leave Friday. I leave on vacation for 3 weeks. And so I don't know how often I'll be doing videos or if I will. And so I just wanted to do kind of a live stream or chat before then. Also, I should say the initial idea was by Daniela DTE, I think. As a comment, she said we should do a live chat, talking, get to know each other, stuff like that. So if you're watching, feel free to, as I usually say, also for the comments, put in parentheses, put your language combination, even if you're not yet a professional freelance translator or anything like that, put your language combination and then put whatever you comment you like or anything along those lines. And yeah, otherwise I'll be working here while I keep this on. And so I can, talk about whatever needs to be talked about. But yeah, otherwise I have work to do and I need to do that as well. And I'd like to get a bunch of stuff finished before I leave on vacation, because it's going to be a lot of work on vacation, going with my wife and my kid, and it's going to take up a lot of time. There we go. And I say, oh, Daniela DTE, yes. Hi there, and thanks again for the idea. So yeah, hopefully, I set up the appointment 2 days ago, by the way. I think that was a bit too early, but I kind of put a thing 2 days ago saying that we'd have this chat today. So hopefully you were able to see that as well. So this didn't come up as a surprise. Ali, hi there. I remember your name this time because I know last time I didn't know your name, except for subtitling, because you have subtitling as your username. Okay. And then we'll get this here. So yeah, and if you have any questions or anything, feel free to let me know because, like I said, I won't be around for 3 weeks starting on Friday. So so we're gonna see. By the way, and so while I'm gone for those 3 weeks, I'm gonna figure out a plan for this channel because I feel like this channel I've been doing. Sorry, I just got a message. This message is held for your review. Oh, the idea of this live is for you to choose some subscribers to chat with the webcam as you're doing. Oh, I don't know why I have to choose if I show it or hide it. Anyway, I'll show it. For some reason, the thing came on YouTube that I have to review it and decide whether to show or hide that comment. I don't know why it would do that. Okay, I didn't choose any specific subscribers to chat with. I'm just keeping it open there, just because whoever happens to be online, I'm happy to chat with them and we can chat. But yeah, as I was saying, basically, I realized that for this channel, I've been it's always been a thing on the side. Like, this isn't how I earn my money. I earn my money as a translator and my agency and stuff like that. And but I've noticed I've been taking time away from work, kind of like I'm doing now, to work on this channel. So anyway, while I'm on vacation, I kind of want to come up with a plan as what to do. But it might be that I don't have videos up as regularly, just because it's, I will do it, but in my spare time. And I don't want to use working hours to do this stuff because I need to concentrate on my job and I don't want my job to be affected because of this, let's say, even though I do enjoy doing this, but I can't let it do that. So anyway, I'm going to figure something out. I'll see, and then see how to handle that. I think, because various people had some ideas. Like someone suggested Patreon, but I don't want to do a Patreon for this channel. I don't think that would make any sense. and or like to sell like t-shirts or something, but I'm there too. I don't know. Anyway, I'll figure something out. I'm thinking of maybe just doing like a plain like voluntary basis, just like do a kind of like donations PayPal thing, and say like buy me a cup of coffee kind of thing, and then literally any money I get from that I use for the coffee, like in a coffee shop, just to work on this channel and just to do those things. But anyway, I'll figure something out while I'm on vacation, how to go ahead with this channel, because I do like to do it, but I really can't take time away from my work like I'm doing right now. Hazim Zaki, good day to you. Good day to you as well. Okay. But yeah, otherwise I don't have anything too specific to talk about. There will be another video on Thursday, by the way, replying to another one of your questions. So there will be a video then, but then I don't have anything really scheduled. I'm hoping while I'm on holiday to be able to, share some video there, but it won't really have much to do with translation, I don't think. And then we'll see how it goes. Okay. So Daniela DT, actually, in terms of your comment, did you mean like, so we all have webcams on? Because then it would have been better to do it on Google Chat or something, because that could be interesting too. Have a couple of us on a webcam and do that. Actually, what I'd really like to do for this channel is I'd like to feature more people on this channel. And first of all, because I noticed there are many things I can't answer. I get asked questions all the time about interpretation, and I can't answer any of those because I'm not an interpreter. I also get asked a lot of questions about CAT tools, which currently I don't use. And so I feel like I'm not really up to date on what's going on there. And so I've approached so far 2 people only, asking them if they wanted to contribute something to this channel. They both said yes, but so something might be in the work. But I would like to, I'd like to be able to provide. I like this channel to be able to provide information, and so yeah, when other people have other types of information, like for interpreting or CAT tools, or just your own experience that's different from mine, I actually wouldn't mind featuring that. So if that's something you're interested in, please let me know. Or if you know someone who you think will be good in terms of giving content, that's different from mine, that I don't give, or that can complement it, or whatever it might be, then please feel free to let me know, because I do think it would be interesting to, to do that as well. Then here, I suggested for new videos to get some subscribers to participate in those lives as people do in the group, as it was the idea for this live. But, right, so yeah, so that's basically what you're saying. Sorry, I guess I misunderstood the first time, but you're saying to have a couple of us, a couple different translators, like kind of on the same screen or chatting at the same time. That would be interesting. I think it would be easier to do it on Google Chats, because then you can put a bunch of different windows on at the same time. YouTube makes that. Here I'm doing this directly on YouTube, and YouTube makes it kind of weird in that sense. But yeah, that could be interesting. That would be, and so I have done, what I've done before is more like interview format, with 2 screens. It might be interesting to do something along those lines as well, though. Just have a chat. It would have to be either through an interview or with a certain topic, maybe, of discussion, so that we have a goal, something to talk about. Hazim, I don't know that much about your freelance careers. I'm new here, but if you're a translator, I'd like to hear your opinion about working with LSPs and MLVs mainly versus searching for direct clients. So yeah, I've talked about this quite a bit. I go into it at length in some of my past videos. Basically, if you're just starting out as a freelance translator, I think it's better to work with LSPs, translation agencies at the beginning, because they know how to deal with you, and it's a lot easier. That way you can concentrate just on the translation itself, and they'll kind of handle everything else. Ultimately, I think as a goal in the long term, it should always be to find direct clients, but you need to do a lot more in finding direct clients. And again, I won't go into it too much in depth. I have in other videos, and I know I definitely do in the course, but when you deal with direct clients, you kind of need to let them know what they're looking for as well. Many times, they have no idea what a source language is, a target language is. They have no idea, if you calculate per page, per word. And, you get these requests all the time. Be like, oh, I have a lot of documents, legal documents that need to be translated. Can you help me? And half the time, you don't know how many times people say they need something translated in traditional Chinese. And I found out they meant simplified Chinese. Like, people, it's not that they're dumb or anything. They're very smart in what they do, but they don't do translation. So you kind of need to help them out with that. So there's a lot more that goes into it besides just the translation. Plus, it's a whole lot of sales and everything like that. So that's why at the beginning, I usually recommend go for the LSPs, go for the translation agencies, because they handle all that at the beginning. After you get some experience and you get more comfortable with it, you can slowly start to look for direct clients. But I would start off with the translation agencies at least. And, and you might even want to stick with them. Some of them can be very good clients and pay quite well. Daniela T will attract more subscribers to your channel. Oddly enough, I'm not interested in new subscribers for this channel. I know, obviously, I like having subscribers. I like that I'm able to reach a lot of people. But like I said, this isn't how I earn a living. I earn a living from my translation itself. And so I don't, I like having the people, I like having a number of people here that I can keep answering the questions and keep having these conversations. If I start having too many people, then it gets to be too much. So I do want the channel to grow, obviously, because I like the idea of helping other people out and all that. But that's why I need to, while I'm on vacation, I'm going to figure this out. But I cannot, keep taking time away, work hours like I'm doing right now to do this rather than to do my work, which is a translation and, I'm working on my agency and stuff like that. So doing something just to attract more subscribers, I'm not that interested in. In terms of attracting the right type of subscribers, like people who want to be freelance translators, who are freelance translators and furthering that career, then yes, I like having a place, kind of like a community almost, where people can come together and chat about that. So that's why also, Hazim Zaki, if you're new to this channel, then welcome. If you're new in freelance translation, then feel free to check out, I have a playlist called, what's it called? Like it's called, for if you're just starting out. Anyway, you can look it up, and it's for people who are just starting out. It's a list of videos, that help you out when you're just starting out. Otherwise, yeah, you can find what you want. You can feel free to ask questions along the way, and I try to reply to them or make a video to them as I can. And so, yeah. What time is it there now? It is 10:15 a.m. here now. I am on the East Coast of the United States. And so, yeah, I figured it would be a good time to talk because I feel like I'm on the early end. Other subscribers are either in Latin America, which is more or less the same time as me, I guess, or maybe it's an hour behind as well, or in Europe or Middle East, which is in the future. Hello from the past. Close here. Okay. Hello from the future. I'm in Brazil. Here it's 11:15 a.m. So you're all in the future, yeah. Okay. It's well, let me know how the future is. Right here, we're in the past. It's 10:15. So far, so good. Let's hear a little about your marketing tactics. So I have another playlist just called marketing, where I detail a whole lot of marketing stuff. So I don't know. It really depends what your situation is, Hazim. Like, are you just starting out as a freelance translator? And, is this like, what experience do you have? Like, because it depends. If your experience is as a translator in an agency and then you're breaking off by yourself, then you have certain people you can contact to try to build up your network. If you were a student and now you're just starting out, it'll be different. If you work, say, in a law firm and now you're going to work on legal translations, then it'll be different as well. At the beginning, though, I tend to recommend to target anyone you might know, like past clients, past colleagues, anyone you worked with before, and let them know that this is what you're doing and this is what you're starting off doing, so that they know. And my experience, no one you talk to will need translations, but they might talk to someone who needs translations, and then they'll refer you. So it's just good to spread the word at the beginning. I have around 6 years of experience now. I'm planning to start a translation team. Oh, so actually so you're starting up a translation team. I don't know if you mean basically a translation agency, I assume, like your own LSP or something along those lines. Yeah, that's very interesting. There too, I have videos about that. By the way, and I've mentioned this all the time in the videos, but since you're new, I also have courses, how to be a freelance translator. I also have how to set up a translation agency. You can find the links. I think they're in the description. Otherwise, I can send you the links. And oh yeah. Ali can join your team if you want. Where specifically are you guys, by the way? I know Daniela is in Brazil. Where are you guys based? This angle is awkward. And my hair is awkward. I'm getting a haircut later today. So no comments about my hair. Nazim, I love to refer to myself as a team leader since I feel clients tend to love freelancers more than agents. Yes, you're 100% right. And in fact, so a lot of things I have is freelance translators trying to look like a company, because it feels more professional. And they'll set up a website and say so-and-so translations and make it sound like they're a company. And and very often I tell them, you don't want to do that, because clients very often, they prefer to work with freelancers rather than translators. And so that's very true. Actually, yeah, that's probably a good idea to keep referring to it as a team of translators rather than a company, because I could see, especially if you're working with LSPs, they really like the idea of a team of freelancers, because they feel like they get, for the price of a freelancer, they get a lot of freelancers. That's also why like husband and wife freelancer teams do really well as well. But yeah, once you say you're an agency, suddenly it becomes a whole big thing. I've been having to deal with that. Okay. Sorry, like I mentioned before, I'm getting work done while I keep this on. So I'll I get this thing from the chat, and that's fine. But in the meantime, I'm also trying to get some work done, because I need to get some work done. I feel like I've got a million things to do before we leave. And no, I lost my place. Oh, there we go. If you're in my shoes, how would you sell this idea of the team to gain new clients' trust? I'd do it like that. I say it's a team of translators. So if you're, especially if you're talking to LSPs, just say we're a team of translators that now work together and help each other out. Make it seem like you're all professionals, but you have kind of work basically like quote unquote in the same office or something like that. And because as an LSP, so me being an LSP as well now, you hear something like that, you like it. You like the idea of having a group of professionals together helping each other out. But when you think of an agency, you think, I mean, professionals, but higher costs. But everyone helping each other out, you kind of figure you're all just working in someone's, in co-working space or in a coffee shop, something like that. It just kind of like, you don't have to say that's the case, but it gives that image. So yeah, I like the idea of just calling yourself a team the whole time. I think that's good. That's smart. By the way, when you're dealing with end clients, however, it can be an issue because many times end clients, they prefer to deal with an agency itself. And so this idea of a team could be a bit of an issue when you're dealing with end clients, the direct clients, especially if it's, say, I don't know what type of translations you guys specialize in, but say it's like banks or law for, things that are in the long term. They want something steady that'll be there, in the long term. And this idea of a team of translators working together, it doesn't sound as steady or as long term as an agency. You have an agency with a professional website and blah, 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 and handle things like a big company that's been around 20 years or whatever, then they like that feel a bit more. So it kind of depends who you're talking to. Yeah, for the LSPs, I think that's a great way to go about it, and I think that's how you should go about it. But in terms of direct clients, you can do it, but I think it could be an issue sometimes, depending on what type of end clients they are. Again, if most of your clients are entrepreneurial or small businesses or stuff like that, then it could help as well. But it really depends who you're going for. I mean, that's based on what I've seen and what I've encountered, in terms of being an LSP, but also in terms of contacting other direct clients and stuff like that. Um, I contact another law firm and, they see I'm a professional company. They just kind of hand me the files and say, okay, translate them and let me know. But if they see I'm a freelancer or anything along those lines, they start getting iffy and don't know, don't know if they should trust me or not. So, and that's the thing. I think if you set up as a company, with the law firms and all that, you can kind of charge a bit more as well. So, it really depends. If you can find a way to do both, like to be a team for the LSPs and to be a full-fledged real company for the end clients, that would be a great situation. By the way I get around it is I usually say stuff. So usually when I introduce my company, I say we're a small translation company. I say we, so it shows like, kind of like I know the people, and then but I always refer to it as a small translation company, just so we are a translation company, but we're small, so it won't be like this huge added on fixed costs or huge network or anything like that. But we're small, and so we all know each other, and blah blah blah, and we can kind of get it done. I try to give it that family kind of feel, but while being a full-fledged agency. Do you think a website could give the impression of both if tweaked well, the agility of a small freelance team combined with the resources and expertise of a large company? Maybe. I don't. Depends how it's done. I'm not sure I can envision that. And in fact, what I'm like now, just thinking off the top of my head, I would almost create two different websites. Or when you're talking to LSPs, maybe not even. They might ask for a website anyway or something along those lines. But maybe not even bring up the website at first. The agility of a small freelance team combined with the resources and expertise of a large company. Yeah, but that could also just sound like marketing speak. So I'm not sure. I feel like, one second. I don't know. Like I'm not sure how the website could be tweaked. If you have an idea, you can feel free to try it, but I feel like it would be, yeah, it would be kind of hard. Because you almost want to do, the idea of a team working together, you kind of just want to show here, maybe, yeah, if you show here's the team and you have a picture of each translator like that, and, make it very personal, but at the same time be an agency, maybe, yeah. It would take, I think, it would have to be designed quite well. And I don't know if you have a web designer on your team or if you know one, because those things aren't necessarily cheap. But if it's done well, maybe. I don't know. I haven't not yet seen it. So if you're able to do it, I think it will be a good thing, because yeah, you're able to navigate both things. Like I said, I try to get by saying we're a small agency, but yeah, that could be a very interesting way to go about it. When do you know it's time to start as an agency? So for me, basically starting up as an agency, and I think I mentioned it in the course as well. I found, I kind of just wanted to kind of expand and see how much I could expand and how it would work. There are a couple things, a couple of issues that you need to deal with, meaning being an agency is very different from being a translator. Once you're a translator, and if you're a good translator, you kind of know the drill. You receive the stuff, you do the translations, you send them in, and you know how that works. When you become an agency, or if you set up an agency or anything along those lines, you'll find yourself doing very little actual translation. What you're doing is pretty much all, well, marketing again, and that can expand from being just a translator, but it's very different marketing because you're doing a bunch of different languages. And you're also project managing, which means finding the right translators, finding the right editors, taking the stuff from the client, giving it to the translators, making sure they get it done in time and they do it correctly, blah, 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 and sending it to them. And then making sure you actually make money in the process, which, believe it or not, can be an issue. And, and then dealing with troubleshooting and all that. And with all this project management and marketing, like you're not doing any translation. So it really changes what you do. And, but if you're curious about it and you kind of want to expand and see how far it can go, then it can be interesting, because if you're dealing with a translation, something needs to be translated in like 6 different languages. And even if you're making, the same or less per word, for document, you have 6 different languages, it can add up. And, you have a bunch of different documents and a bunch of different translators working. It's a lot of work. So it's not like you can just sit back and let other people do the quote unquote translation work, because trust me, it's a lot of work, but there are opportunities for expanding. At a certain point with translation, you might feel like there's a limit because there are only so many hours a day that you can work on translation. And if you do feel that way and you kind of want to expand, then then check it out. It could be interesting. I recommend checking it out. But if you, but it is a lot of work. So it really depends on you. If you're comfortable translating and expanding in that sense, and you think you can earn a good living from translation, then there's no need. You can also try to dip your toes in the water and try to basically, like you're saying, have sort of a team and have a couple translators work together and kind of see how that goes. But it would, you'd have to see how that goes and then take it from there. Sorry, Hazim, like you also said 2. Lately, I've been getting quite a few requests also in terms of reviewing people's resumes and profile sites and one-on-one consulting. Because I know I was offering those for a while, even through the videos, but then I stopped. But for some reason lately, I've been getting quite a few requests. And it's been, and so there too, that, that's part of the whole thing I'm trying to figure out, because I don't count that as, my main job. But obviously I do get paid for those services. So I kind of want to figure out a way to divide all this up. And so that's what I plan on doing while I'm on vacation. Hello there. Oh, sorry. I'm not going to try to pronounce your name because I know I'll butcher it. I assume you're writing from Vietnam, though? Hashtag tech. I can pronounce that. Hi, sir. How are you? I'm doing well. How are you? Okay, Bob. Have you come to a point as a freelancer to think about giving up? There have been a couple times that I'm like, ma chi me lo fa fare, they say in Italian, like, who's making me do this? Like, why do I keep doing this? But I don't know. It does get stressful. And like with any job where you're working on your own as a freelancer, an entrepreneur, it's a roller coaster. There are ups and downs, there are ups and downs. Ultimately, though, I like the idea that I'm in charge. And even if things are going down, I get a feeling that it's my responsibility and my responsibility to make it better. So I think it really depends on the person. There are down moments, and in that sense, that's why I like the idea of diversifying a bit. Like I have the translation, but I also have like this channel, and I have and I do these reviews of resumes, and I have my course and stuff like that. So if something's going badly in one thing, it can go better in another thing, and and that I have for everything, like I don't know, for working out or for hobby stuff like that, like. Because since it is a roller coaster and things can go badly at one point in time, if you have other interests and other things you're working on, I think it really helps a lot in terms of life in general. Because if you have everything concentrated on one thing and it goes down, you have a slump for like a month or two, it can get really, depressing. But no, so I haven't, I never really seriously thought about giving up. Because I love languages, first of all. Even my spare time, all I'm reading is stuff in translation or stuff about languages, linguistics. Right now I'm listening to an audiobook about the English language by John McWhorter. It's the second book of his that I tackle because he's a linguist and I just discovered him recently. Yeah, so it's stuff I'm really into. So it really depends on you, I think. Wait, are you a teacher? I'm not a teacher, no. I'm a freelance translator, and I am now, and I run my own small agency. How can you tell I'm Vietnamese? Your name, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it looks Vietnamese. I have, quite a few Vietnamese friends. I haven't learned Vietnamese because it seems like one of the hardest languages ever to learn. I feel like Vietnamese is like Polish in a way. People who speak Vietnamese, it's so hard to learn, but they're really good at learning other languages. I remember when I was learning Chinese, when I was in Taiwan, like we'd have these Vietnamese students and they were picking stuff up like that. And I know there's some similarities as well there, but still, they're doing way better. Like there's some similarities with the vocab with Chinese and Korean as well. I mean, less, but still, like I remember the Vietnamese students picking it up so quickly. And I know Polish can do that as well, because Polish is a really difficult language to learn. And so they can be very quick at learning other languages sometimes. At least that's my impression. The door behind me just moved? That's freaky. Did it really? I'm going to have to check the video. Hello? I'm the only person here, so that would be weird. Should I check? I'm going to check. Just because if there is something that will make for good YouTube. I don't know which door it was. No, that one's locked. I think the fan's on. Maybe I did something to it. That's weird. Was it this door? That might have been the fan. That door is locked. That shouldn't be moving at all. Anyway, that was weird. Yeah, maybe it was something with the fan. Maybe it wasn't fully closed before. You have company there. Yeah, I know. Or there's someone just waiting there. Well, hopefully. So you work in a separate space away from home. So I do a bit. No, actually, this is my home, and I'm back home now because yeah, I have. Well, I work from here every now and then, and also it's easier when I do the videos and there's other stuff I need to do anyway. But I have an office that I work from as well. It's yeah, and so I would say it's 50-50 working from home, working from the office. Problem with working from home is I'm usually a bit less productive, and so what I'll do is I'll work here half the day, and then I'll maybe go to a coffee shop or to the office. And I like working from coffee shops too, but I'm definitely most productive in the office. Separate workspace from home. Martin, Varjesco. I'm going to mispronounce that as well. Hi, Robert. Thank you for everything. My question is, do you think about CV written in an achiever style? First of all, I'm going to answer Bob's question below. Do you play video games? I don't. Sorry, I haven't played video games for a while. If you guys played Zelda or James Bond, then definitely. But unfortunately, lately I've been an old fogey, so I haven't. But to answer Martin's question. What do you think about CVs written in achiever style? I'm not sure what you mean by achiever style. So, but it's so actually, like I was mentioning before, lately I've been getting quite a few requests to review CVs and online profiles and stuff like that. So I've been going through it quite a bit. You know, in terms of from the point of view of a translation agency and LSP, what you know people like us will be looking for in freelance translators, because I think it's a bit different from working for a company. So what I do try to do is each line in the bullet point, I try to start it off with an action verb, if that makes any sense. Like translated this, worked on the, you know, something as specific as possible, and starts kind of with a verb like that's an action. So I'm not sure what achiever style means exactly, but I do try to do it like that. So it's there's action in the CV, if you will. And it's not just static. But it's like, did this, did that, dun, dun, dun. And I find that that's helpful. It's like something I came to discover lately. I work in the family is not productive at all. Yeah, I can't work with my family around. Every now and then, even my wife is like, oh, you know, because like she's like, I'll work from home today. And then if she's at home, I need to go to a coffee shop or to my office. Like, and if the kid's around, forget it. But yeah, I can't work with family around in general. And even just being at home, I'm less productive. There are too many distractions. I've got the fridge right there. And, you know, not to mention my bed right there. And so, yeah, I definitely work best from the office. And I only stay home when there's stuff. Today, there's stuff I need to do with the bank and all that. And so I prefer to do that from my home connection. But yeah, in fact, later on, I'll probably be either going to an office or a coffee shop. How to get translation jobs with zero experience and no degree in translation. Well, once again, I do have a playlist called on this channel. If you look it up, it's called for just here. Let me look up the exact name of the playlist because I keep forgetting, and it has a pretty obvious name, I think. Here, New to Freelance. Yeah, it's called. If you look up the playlist, it's called New to Freelance. New to Freelance Translation. Start here. So if you look up that playlist here, in fact, I'll link to it. I think that's the link to it, I think. So check that out if you're first starting out. And that should have some tips and help you out. I also have a course that's in the description below. You can feel free to check that out as well. It's and the course is really what where I detail everything from A to Z. And if you use the link in the description below, that's the cheapest cheapest price you'll get it at. Wait, sorry, I'm kind of losing track, and I'm not getting any work done. This one can working with family is not productive at all. Sorry, and you were continuing. And actually, today is my first day in a separate office. Oh, welcome to your first day in a separate office. How is that working out for you? So I like working in a separate office. I find I'm very productive. I can send it my way. And there are two options in the office I work with. There's where you work on your own in your own private area, or you can do it in public. Sometimes I prefer it in public. And what I do is when I work in public or in a coffee shop, I'll set up my computer so everyone behind me, can see it. I want other people to see my computer. And this is purely psychological. But the reason I do this is it makes sure I always feel like people are watching and judging me. And that way I can make sure that I don't end up going on YouTube or, wasting time or anything like that, and actually just get work done. If I feel like someone's always looking over my shoulder, I do that. So I find that helps me sometimes. I'll go to the public area of the office and just do that. But yeah, it's up to you. Other times when I just want to get into the zone, if I get into the zone, it doesn't matter where I am. I'm in the zone. But sometimes, yeah, in the private area is kind of better as well. But the office is great because I can set up with no distractions anywhere. What's your inspiration of YouTube videos? Oh, I don't know. I enjoy lots of YouTube videos. I follow a lot on languages, linguistics, and stuff like that, just because I like nerding out on those. I follow some local ones from the area I am in, the Italian part of Switzerland. I don't know. My inspiration of YouTube videos. YouTube videos are fun. I don't know if they inspire me that much in life. Individual videos might, but yeah. Okay, sorry, Martin, back to the thing. It comes out as a result of automated software, and the recommendation was not to sound as a doer, but as an achiever. However, I use bullet points and action verbs. Okay, then that's interesting. I'll look it up then. Actually, yeah, let me make a note of that. Since I'm looking over people's resume, I should probably know about that stuff. Achiever, something like achiever style resumes. I'll look that up. But yeah, maybe it sounds like what I was mentioning. Like I try to do it. You say not as a doer, but as an achiever. So like I said, I try to start it with verbs like action verbs, but then as precise as possible. So that's why I try to put things, translated X number of words, or, earn this amount of money. Like if you can put precise amounts, get as precise as possible for those things, I think it's very good, because it's better than having a generalized thing like translated a lot. The more precise, the better, I think. Hazim Zaki. Oh, it's a lot better. I've been trying to watch Asana training for weeks, and I was almost able to finish it today. Yeah, it's a lot better in your own office without the distractions. Yeah, it's a world of difference. So much more productive. What's your most useful productive tools? I have quite a few. Most of them stop me from being non-productive. So I have, and I think I've mentioned this in other past videos, but I have a certain one that blocks any website I waste time on. So on Mac, it's called Self-Control, and it blocks, I think, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, basically anything I end up wasting time on, and it blocks them all. And so I'll block it out for and in fact, what I have on my Google Calendar is every day, at certain times, like say, 1, 2 p.m., like after lunch. And I think I have it for 8 a.m. and 1 p.m., something like that. And I'll get a thing from Google Alerts, from the Google Calendar, like an alert, and it'll say, block all the websites now, or start self-control, or whatever I wrote. So I basically click on self-control, and for 3 hours, everything's blocked so I can concentrate on work. And a lot of my productivity tools are stuff like that, to stop me from wasting time. I want to make it as hard as possible for me to waste time, and as easy as possible for me to get work done. And so, yeah, that's just a lot of stuff like that. Get rid of distractions. Like I said, when I work in a public space, I like other people being able to see my screen, because then I feel like I waste less time, because, I feel like they're judging me, which I know they're not, but don't freak out, but the light just went out the right door. I've been watching that door. Okay, now you're starting to freak me out. In there? Okay, I'm going to check again. So this door moved and that door, the light just went out. That's weird. Let me check. And I'm going to rewatch the video, but it'll make a video. Oh, I need to end this video soon anyway, but I'm going to check. But once again, because Bob said here, don't freak out, but a light just went out on the right door. I've been watching that door, so I guess this door. And then I'll get back to real questions. I didn't see anyone. I didn't see anyone. So if they're hiding, they're doing a good job. And if they turn off the light, they're saving me electricity. So I'll leave it at that. Let's get back to this. Ollie Colleen, hello. Do you need a certain area of expertise to translate, or can you translate most things? Thanks. So yeah, no, usually you need a specialization, you need an area of expertise. In fact, most translators I've worked with, rather than majoring or having studied translation, they'll have studied something else. So they'll have studied law, been a paralegal, maybe worked in law, and then transitioned to be a freelance translator on their own, but doing legal translations. And so, yeah, usually it'll depend on what you studied before, or what you studied in school, or what you worked on. But usually, yeah, you almost always have a certain area of expertise, especially when it gets to technical stuff, medical, scientific stuff. You know, no one, I can't I'm an Italian to English translator, and I don't touch medical because, yeah, it's not my area of expertise. How long do you think translation traineeship should last before getting a real job after 4-year academic translation studies? Wait, 4-year academic translation studies. If you did a 4-year course, like basically got a degree in translation, you absolutely can get a real job, I think. You definitely have enough theory, so you need practice. That's what you need at that point. And I'm assuming you get practice taking the courses too. So yeah, that's what I would do. If you feel iffy about your level and you're not sure if you're ready, there are plenty of places to volunteer. I have a video up there if you search for it, where to translate for free. And there I list a whole bunch of places you can translate for free at, but chances are you can even ask any NGO organization, any local one, if you can do translations for them for free. And this helps them out, obviously, because they get a free translation. It helps you out because it gives you practice. And if they're happy with the translation, don't forget to ask them for a review or a rating, on your pros.com profile or something like that, because then that helps you get ahead. Where do you go on vacation? So this vacation, September, we're going back to where I grew up. We're going to Switzerland, the Italian part of Switzerland, and then down to Italy. I have family there around Tuscany. And so, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Usually we either go there or we go to Taiwan. My wife is Taiwanese, and so, it'll be one of those places. And in fact, we're going, I think, in February for the Lunar New Year. We're going back to Taiwan. But now in September, we're going to Switzerland and Italy. Hello from South Korea. Dang, dang, dang. Hello, dang, dang, dang. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, South Korea. So usually, because I used to live in South Korea long time ago. I was there for the World Cup in 2002. It was awesome. And back then I got Asiana miles, and I still use them. So now when I fly to Taiwan, I can usually get a layover in Korea. And so what I'll do is I'll end up spending a couple days in Korea and with my wife, and then we'll go to Taiwan. And yeah, it's awesome. Korea is really cool. All we do is eat the whole time there, and I go visit the places that I used to live in and stuff like that. Around Hongdae, that's where I used to live. Do you feel threatened by machine translation? Ever think it'll make things harder for us in the future? So this is the $1 million question. This is the question I get asked the most, by the way, when I'm networking around, talking to other non-translators. They're like, "What about Google Translate?" So there are a couple of things I should say about machine translation, and I know I've mentioned this all before. Machine translation is getting better. It's definitely getting better, and it's getting more useful and all that. I think it's something we should all take into account. I don't think we should ignore it at all. I think we should absolutely take it into account. And in fact, I think it can even be helpful. for people who know what they're doing. It can be disastrous for people who don't know what they're doing. But ultimately, I don't feel too threatened. The main reason is that I think you all know how Google Translate works. Basically it doesn't translate anything itself. It takes from the internet, it learns, oh, this has been translated this way. In the past, it's been done this way 10 times, let's say. So chances are it should be translated this way. And it learns from everything. But because of this, it means that everything you put into Google Translate, into the text box, it owns. Google Translate owns that. I mean, at least it has access to it. Not only has access to it, but if you put any text into Google Translate, Google Translate can get access to it. Other people can find out who put it up, the IP address, what time, everything like that. Even if you're not signed into Google, by the way, go under Google privacy policy, it's all there. And so because of this, a lot of law firms, think about it. If you're writing a contract or, internal documentation, company financials, anything along those lines, you don't want it to be public out there, public knowledge. And if you copy and paste that stuff into Google Translate, it becomes public knowledge. So I think no matter how good it gets, they're still going to want freelance translators, especially if you're dealing with, stuff that people don't want spread around. And this can go from financials to legal stuff to medical information to, all this stuff. So that's why I'm not too worried about it. And by the way, people will still trust humans a lot more. Even if Google Translate gets excellent, it'll take people a while to do that. But either way, regardless, just because of the way it works, I think we're fine for now. Can you speak Japan? I speak Japanese. Not really. I forgot most of it. 私の日本語は小法レベルです。大学で日本語が勉強しました。だけど Yeah, never mind. It's I've lost most of my Japanese. Lost most of my Korean too. Dang. 한국말 잘 못해요. 15년, 16년 전에 2년 동안 한국에 살았어요. 지금은 한국말 다 잊어버렸어요. Maybe regulations like GDPR will be on your side. Yeah, so yeah, and I think that will help out. Basically all these privacy things. Let's face it, they will help out. People don't. You can't have all these things being public, and Google Translate is very public, and it has to be because it has to learn from other documentation, other stuff that people put in it, and so just that's the nature of the beast. I think. I think you're absolutely right. GDPR will be on our side, and now in Europe, that's the name of the game, and other places. Can you play an instrument? Oh, that's random. So I took piano when I was younger, quite a bit, but no, I haven't played in forever. I'm really annoyed that I've been losing my Korean and my Japanese. Like if I didn't have to work ever again, I think that's all I do is learn new languages and try to maintain the ones I've learned. Okay, I should go soon. So actually, before I go, I want to mention again, I am looking for other people. If you are an established translator or especially if you work a lot with cat tools, if you're an interpreter or, if you have anything to contribute that basically, I don't talk about, then I'd love to hear from you. I do like this channel to be informative and there's some information I can give. And many times I think it's good to get another person's point of view. So if that's something you're interested in, please let me know, get in touch with me, and maybe we can figure something out. Like I mentioned, I'm going on vacation soon for 3 weeks. During that time, I'm going to figure out what to do with this channel because I feel like it's taking time away from my work. And this isn't my work. My work is my agency and stuff like that. So I might put it up on a donation kind of basis and then see how that goes or not. And anyway, I'll figure something out while I'm on vacation, and I might tie it into that. I have a Yeah, like I said, other stuff. So these other services that I offer, like one-on-one consulting and CV review, reviewing websites and online profiles, stuff like that. Like for some reason, just in the last 2 weeks, I think they've picked up for some reason, even though I haven't been marketing them at all in the past 2 weeks. So I'm wondering if I should, tie that into it. Maybe use the proceeds of that for this and make that kind of like a separate business almost, which might make more sense. But anyway, I'll think about it and I'll see. Let's see. The wall, replay the video after this. Look at the wall. Okay, this wall. Apparently, all these things are happening in the background that I'm not aware of. Okay, I'll look at the wall after when I replay this video, because you're really freaking me out, Bob. Dang, dang, dang. I want to be an interpreter, German to Korean. You've been great help, even though the field is different in all areas. Oh, I think, yeah, you commented before about that. I remember German Korean interpreter. Yeah, that's really interesting. And I think it could be, oh, where was that recently that I heard? Oh, no, sorry, that was in Taiwan. But there was a lady who was interpreting in German for a group of businessmen around. And yeah, I thought, I think if that's a gig you can get, you'll be in high demand because there's not much competition. I don't know if you're based in, well, you said you're in Korea. So yeah, you could be doing a lot of that. Basically German businessmen, organizations, or, diplomats or whatever that come in and you can help out with interpreting those things. Actually I have a friend in Korea who's an interpreter but he's English and English Korean. He got to do stuff with some movie stars coming in, which seemed awesome. Nice, thank you. You're welcome. I'm happy that, if these things are useful. Thanks, I most appreciate for little chat advice. Maybe I'll finish my website and send it for you to check. Yeah, feel free to send it in. By the way, I received a website from someone else, and I asked him, because what I'd like to do is kind of go through the website, make a video of it and show it to everyone so we can get everyone's input on it. But I wanted to get his permission before doing that, and he never wrote back, I don't think. At least I haven't received anything. But yeah, feel free to do that. And I think that could be interesting. Basically what I could do is then, maybe make a video of me going through your website, and that way you can get comments from not just from me, but from other people as well. And, kind of make it a group thing. I thought that would be interesting anyway. So yeah. I should probably wrap this up. Anyway, thanks, for chatting. I hope it was useful. I'm going to check again for all the stuff going on in the background, because that's really been freaking me out in a way. But hopefully you found this, a bit useful. And like I said, there might be some changes. What I would do is I will, if you're subscribed, maybe click on the bell, and that way you'll get a notification when there are new videos, if that helps, or I don't know, or just, whenever the new videos come. Anyway, what I'm thinking right now is once I come back from vacation, the videos might not be as regular, but I'll just be doing them in my spare time. I really want to condition myself during working hours. I only work on work, and I'll be doing these things in my spare time. If there's a way that I can make this work, so, turn this into sort of a side business, if you will, then, then maybe I'll do that. And again, it'll either be on a donation basis. So it's purely voluntary, just, whoever wants to help can help out and do this. Or something else, I'll figure it out. And also, if you would like to help out in the sense of doing your own videos, or there's something you like to contribute or say, definitely get in touch with me as well. I'm also interested in that, because I'd like to provide more information, not just my point of view all the time, because I think that could help out a lot. Thanks for this live. You're welcome. Thanks for joining me. Hazim, definitely let me know. Send it to me when it's done, and we can figure something else out. Martin, thank you. I will enjoy my holiday. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be good to go back to Switzerland. Thanks for your videos. You're welcome. Enjoy your vacation. All of you enjoy as well. And I'll talk to you in the next time. Yeah, I've been live for about an hour now, so I should get some work done. So take care, guys, and I'll see you next time I see you. If I figure out how to end, I click on end screen. That's it. Okay, savedum.